Last week, the Tarpon Springs City Commission approved a plan by Texas Development Company to build 404 luxury apartments along the Anclote River at US 19.
For years, residents have opposed building anything on the 74-acre natural site, which includes wetlands and bald eagle nests. The vote was 3-1, with the majority of commissioners saying the project was consistent with the city plan. Residents opposed to the development said it would add to safety problems on heavily traveled US 19. They also opposed the loss of green space and opposed adding more than 1,000 residents to that site, which is prone to flooding.
Tracey McManus is a reporter for the Tampa Bay Times and has been covering this story. Tracey, welcome to Florida this week.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
So Walmart had wanted to build on this spot about 15 years ago. They were turned down, but this project was okayed by the Tarpon City Commission. Why did they get the okay this time?
Well, Rob, it's an interesting history. Walmart actually was approved to build a supercenter on the site by the Tarpon Springs City Commission in January of 2005. So they had the go-ahead to do it. What happened was residents and activists at the time were really riled up, filed a lawsuit against the city and Walmart saying that the approval violated the city's comprehensive plan. And that lawsuit was winding its way in the courts. The lawsuit actually was not successful, but it tied Walmart up in court so long that Walmart just walked away and put this land up for sale in 2013. So that's how we got to where we are today, where Morgan Group, a Houston-based housing developer, came in and applied to build its apartment complex on the site. The application first came last year, and ultimately the City Commission did vote last week to approve it.
And why did the commission vote to approve it? What standards are there to approve something like this?
Well, this was a big point of the discussion. It was a quasi-judicial hearing, and the City Commission argued that under the rules of quasi-judicial hearings, if the application met all of the standards of the city's code and comprehensive plan, they had to approve it. In other words, they couldn't just say, well, you know, we'd prefer for the land to be a park, so we'd rather not have apartments here. They said that the apartment application met all the rules of the comp plan, so they had to vote to approve it. Now, the activists and residents challenging the progress disagree with that assessment, and they say that the City Commission did have the authority to look at the comprehensive plan and say that the apartments are in direct violation with it, therefore it should not have been approved. And some things they point to there is that the 74-acre site is in the coastal high hazard area, and it's prone to flooding. And the city's comprehensive plan directs the city to move populations away from coastal high hazard area. So especially City Commissioner Costa Vaticiotis, who was the only vote against the project, pointed to that in his rationale for voting against the project. He also pointed to some safety concerns, and obviously city rules prioritize citizen safety. And he said that the two entrances on US 19 for the apartment complex, he's not convinced there's evidence that it is safe and that US 19 can handle the added traffic. So that's another rationale why he voted against it. Obviously, his colleagues on the commission disagreed with that.
And what about the environmental concerns? Two eagles' nests, is that all that's on this 74-acre property, or is there more that might be destroyed by the building of the apartments?
There is bald eagle nests on the property. There's identified gopher tortoises, and there's live oak habitats. Well, the developer has included in their plan standards for dealing with those things. There's some federal rules for building around eagles nests, which they say they're going to be following. And also there's 22 acres of wetlands on the site, and the developer said they are only going to impact less than 1 acre of those wetlands and obviously preserve the rest. There's 64 acres of the site that is not submerged, and of those, there's about 12 acres that are going to have, you know, parking, infrastructure, apartments on them. So they kind of point to that as saying that this is an environmentally conscious, you know, apartment complex.
And Tracey, we just have about 10 or 15 seconds left, but this isn't the only place in Pinellas County or Pasco County where residents are trying to save undeveloped land.
For sure. Earlier this year, Dunedin and Pinellas County was able to purchase the Gladys Douglas site in unincorporated Pinellas near Dunedin. That was a result of fundraising by the community and the local government. And there's also 14 acres on West Klosterman Road that residents are really trying to save right now. There's a campaign to raise $3 million to buy it from Pinellas County schools and save it from development. So that's a big issue as well.
Tracey McManus, thanks a lot for coming on Florida This Week.
Thanks for having me.